Alright, hello, hello. Alright, so today I'm animating Saiki Itetsu. Congrats on his 3D. And as far as the amount of animation here, leveling up from last week's mana, I have a whole pose change. I think I might have been a bit ambitious though. This one feels like it might take quite a while to get through as far as animating all of the different parts. Hey, little G. So, with Mana, I kind of learned how to use the animation pane and all that in CLIPSTUDIO, being that now I have my layers on the screen as well. So, you know, how animation folders let me kinda see the... I guess each layer in an animation folder is like a frame, and then the folder itself is kind of like how you have layers on a single image. So yeah, vaguely how it works. So I started this one off with the rough folder where I drew a rough animation, and then kind of like how you would do a rough on a still image and then draw over it, I then added my face base layer and kind of drew the lines for that one. And then the clothes, I have a new layer, and by layer I mean folder, and added the clothes onto that. So that's kind of like the process that I'm trying to follow. Hey, Autokey! And as far as like the pose, this is from the part of his 3D debut where he was like asking for poses. And this is like the cat pose because of the hands. I thought it was a really nice pose. So I decided to go for it. Oh yeah, and you might notice that for the numbering of the layers and stuff, I have it going from 1 to 3 to 4. That's because I plan to add something in between 1 and 2. Because right now they're kind of like equally distant from each other. But I very briefly looked at animation tips, and one of them is kind of like, you know how when a ball bounces, you have, I don't know, the ball, and then it goes faster, and then it, you know, hits the ground. How does this work? It goes fast, and then it hits the ground, and then it bounces up. And then it speeds up again. I wonder if that looks okay. Yeah, so that's like how movement happens. So for this, I would have these two being closer, and then it would go fast. I think. Something to test out. Because with Mana's blink and stuff, I had everything equally distant to each other. And how am I? I'm doing good. I'm really excited for the new Huion debuts, which is in like less than 2 hours, which is why I'm kind of like, oh, I'm totally not finishing this in time. I want to say smear frame, but that doesn't sound right. Yeah, so smear frame is a different concept. It'd be like... if this ball looked like this, I think. It like smears like that. But yeah, total beginner at animation still, so that's kind of the theory, I think. Is there someone you're excited for in particular? I feel like I see Sable a lot. Visually, or I don't know if it counts as visually, but Friador is really interesting with his expression, his facial expression. Being angry, looking all the time. Yeah, exactly. If he's got the Gatmoy. It's just like, with that kind of, you know, default face, just what is his actual personality like? Yeah, they are really pretty. I'm also looking forward to the Clausen hosting. Hmm. Now that I'm looking at this, maybe... this shirt might look a bit better over like this. Oh, hello. Glad to see that I've significantly increased the number of subscribers. Well, it has been a while. Thankfully, the number is increasing and not decreasing. Not a fan of Clausen. Does that work? play it. Nah, I feel like I'm making it run away or something. Like I should be trying to bring it closer. Didn't expect me to say it. Well, I think I've said before that Wilson is one of my EN Oshis. My choice is Oshi's Vanta. Oh, nice. Vanta's fun. I feel like with Crisis, since they're also friendly with each other, it's kind of like if you like one, you like them all, kinda. Or at least you like the interaction between the three of them. Ah, hey, always watching. Alright, I'm gonna switch to the face now, because I always think that's a fun part to do. And all the stuff around it is done, so what I'm doing is I create a new animation folder. This is the folder over here. I call it, let's call it eyes. And then I go over here, and then I add a new animation cell. Oh wait. Sorry, I need to be on the right place in the timeline. So this is the very first frame, and I'll add a new animation cell, and then this is like the animation folder for the eyes. So if I draw very, I don't know, roughly the eye. Like that. Right now the frame goes everywhere, so you can see that it stays there, but if I create a new frame, like lining it up here, and I create a new animation cell, then I could draw the eye over here. So like this, what, in between frame is kind of like iffy, to be honest. I kind of drew it a bit randomly, so position of everything is probably not the best. So I'll just kind of roughly draw the eye here. Oh yeah, and I can also turn off the onion skin like this so that I don't get confused if there's a lot of stuff going on. And then on the next part I can add another frame. And draw this eye. Right, like right now that onion skin is a bit confusing because it overlaps, so turn it off. And then there we have it, sort of. That's like the eye moving from one side to the other. Which has made me realize that the size of the eye is a bit different here. Like, it feels like it's growing. I mean, he is kind of turning to face a different direction, so the size of the eye could be a bit different. Feels like there's not much difference between 2 and 3, but there's quite a lot of difference between 1 and 2. And well, let me actually rename 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. So I'm gonna try changing up 3 a bit. By turning on the onion skin, so now I can see it between the two. I'll try to get something that's in between that. So like, this would be the start of the eye, and then the end of the eye would be around here. Yeah, lurking is good. And then this is kind of in between. So that's me just drawing in between the onion skin, and that's kind of what it looks like as far as an eye goes. And because I was just drawing it as an in-between, let me try to get it, the shape to be a bit more Itetsu-like. Feels off. Feels somehow off. Let's add more information around the eye. I think it's because he's not looking in the right direction. That might be one part of it. Gotta go? Alright, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. A little bit more like him. And then when he goes in for that cat pose, drawing angled eyebrows. He's really locking in. And then wink. Let's do the next eye then. Ooh. I feel like, is the left eye bigger than the right eye? Question mark, question mark. Alright, one. Then turning the head, and then the head is turned. I should really add that, like, second frame to figure all of this stuff out. I'll add it after this. The eyes are drawn. I think I shrunk the eye quite a bit, yeah, in comparison to the first one there. Back from your sudden disappearance, welcome back. I don't know when your sudden disappearance started, but you know, I'm doing the eyes right now. Alright. Almost at the winking. And then last frame would be the winking at this frame. So for the winking, I'm gonna copy this eye. Okay. Wait. That didn't paste properly. Oh, I see. Copy it and then rename it 5 and then... Okay. 4 and then 5. There. So pixely when zoomed in. That's the animation pen. And the trick is that it'll get smoothed out at the end if I were actually doing it properly. In the sense of like using a filter and then doing, where is it? Smoothing. This would happen to it. So that it's not pixely anymore. But while I'm animating, it's gonna stay pixely. I can totally tell that the hair is gonna like kill me though, in terms of animating that. I'm gonna clean up some of the overlapping stuff. While it's on my mind. Is there something up with this? Wow, I've missed some random sections here. There. And then over here. All right. Did I add some random layer at some point? It feels like it's jumping. I'm gonna go at this frame by frame. Wink and... no, that should be it. Okay, so it's just some weird thing with the... what? No? What's with the weird jumping? Huh? It's just loading weirdly, I guess. Okay. I think this in-between frame is still kinda derpy looking. Like, this one looks good. This one looks good, but this in-between one is like... what's happening? Here, he's looking in a strange direction, maybe? How many frames per second it is? I can change that. If I can just remember where the settings were for it. Playback settings... where is it? Change frame rate? It's at 24 frames per second right now. But I'm not doing every single second. So like if I were to put it at every second, Okay, I don't want to do that right now. Because I want to add the in-between here. So let me do that first. I'll add an extra frame in between all of this stuff. And then 4 would move up here. So like every 2 frames at 24 frames per second. So it's essentially 12 frames per second. I have now set it to 12 frames per second. Well, I mean, it's good to you know, check it, especially now that I've moved on a bit further. Alright, I'll add in the in-between now. And see how that looks. So it's gonna be purely I'm drawing in between the lines and I don't know how it's gonna look. I'll have to probably correct it. And then this would probably go something like this. Alright, apparently that is fully in between the two. Looks like a face, I guess. The nose would be somehow in between this. That's the face base. Then the clothes would also have to be in between. Somehow. Somewhere. I mean, they're practically on the same line to begin with, so... I'm practically tracing lines. Ooh, let's see how that looks. There. You see, adding that extra frame feels a bit more like he's getting ready to pose, and then he poses. Or at least that's my intention with this extra frame. It's like that slight pause. Yeah, this is a lot more involved than last week. Last week was like, okay, if I draw a still image and then like change a few things about it, it will be animated. But this one is pretty much like drawing a series of images. Nice. Now for the eyes. Maybe I feel like I'm perhaps starting to get used to drawing eyes. Animated eyes, that is. Drawing in between. And then I'll remove the onion skin and it'll be like, what is this deformed eye? But this feels okay. I feel like I'm kind of drawing in between the two. And it kind of feels like it fits. Hmm. Alright, let's try turning off the onion skin. It's a bit derpy. Yeah, that's a bit derpy. So the position of the eyes should be roughly in between the two, so let me try and draw this over again. So from here to here to here. Yeah, this eye needs to be a bit wider open. Oh my gosh. It is... It moves so weirdly. Yeah, that feeling that I was like, maybe I have it drawing between the two onion skins, but nope. How is it so strangely off? It doesn't look bad when I look at it between the two of them, but when I look at it individually, it looks off. And this one too. This one's definitely too long. Okay, let's try this. His right eye feels like it's not moving to the left, or the right, left, whatever. This one isn't moving to the side enough. And then it suddenly moves. this part is a bit weird. Like, it stays where it is, and then suddenly, bam. That part is weird. So I'm gonna try moving this a bit over. And then that probably means that this needs to move over a bit too. So then... might be a bit better. Let me go at it frame by frame. Oh, this feels a bit funny. From here to here. The shape of the eye changes quite a bit. From this to this to this to this. In fact, let me do something about the nose. Starting from here, it should be facing this way a bit. All right. Let's add the mouth now. As I continue to completely ignore the existence of the hair. Yeah, it probably isn't that important. Especially not at this level. I'm gonna name this thing properly, so mouth. Cute. Cute mouth. Another mouth. I'll add this. Okay, maybe I won't. That's getting confusing. I'll just draw what looks like the best mouth for the face that I have in front of me. And if it happens to change, all the better, I guess? I don't know. It'll make things interesting at least. Wow, the face moves so much between these. Alright, there, a mouth. Heh. He goes from big open mouth to a bit of a wider, smaller, well, wider and less open mouth. Like, it's a bit more closed. Alright, I think I will... start the hair. A new folder, and the first cell of the folder. Hair. Da da da. So, I totally have like all of his hair drawn out as if it were his full model, but I think what I want to do, since I'm gonna be ish animating it, I'll see if I can simplify it. So like, for example, this part, he'll have this, and then this. And then from the top of his head, you'll have this part of the hair. You're still here? Thought you were going to sleep or something? But I guess now that I see it, you just said that you had to go. But welcome back. Do it like this and like this. This is not simplifying it, actually, now that I'm looking at what I'm doing. Maybe trying to make sense of it, though, so at least there's that. Do this. Here, a slight simplification. This would have been 2, but now it is only 1. Wait. I'll do this, and this. And simplify this so that it's only 1 strand. And then from here, that's just gonna be like that. Maybe actually with 1 bit like that. guess that works. I'll do that, and then this. Only an hour left, yep. I'm definitely not going to be able to finish animating. Alright, hair that is way too complicated, and it's not even everything. That's like the base part. So for this, what I'm gonna have to do here, I think, is I'll delete frame 2 for now. Bring frame 3 over. And what I'll have to do is move these lines over. So that it's like it's animated. Yeah. Oh boy. This is disorientating. This is disorientating. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, hey Ronan. Who am I drawing here? I'm drawing Saiki Itetsu. Another member of the Heroes. Actually, I guess a easy reference for who I'm drawing and who I will be drawing in the next month and a half is actually in the the phone background that I've got the chat on there. So where your chat message appears on the phone, the background is all of the heroes. And Itetsu is... which one is he on there? He's the 1, 2, 3, 4th set of eyes. I don't know if you can recognize him from that, but it's quite washed out there. Anime VTuber. He also just recently had his 3D debut like 13 hours ago. And this scene that I'm drawing here is actually from his 3D debut. He did this pose. I need to hide this. Alright, alright. Doesn't look too bad. Oh, and since you just arrived, let me show you actually how the animation's going. Just give me a moment, I'm gonna finish up this part and then I'll play it over. So, only my thought or not, but you always draw that. It sure feels like that, doesn't it? I also thought it was a bit funny. Well, at the moment, since I'm kind of drawing this to celebrate their 3D debut, and it's like a 2-month long relay, at the very least for the next 2 months, is gonna be men. Wait, let me add something here so that it doesn't get lost. Okay. How it feels right now. Hair is gonna have to change somewhat significantly for the next frame. 2 months? Well, a month and a half. You see, you know, the number of eyes on... Okay, maybe not the full number because Crisis isn't included, but there's 8 of them. So... this is the second. There's 6 more to go. Well, the reason that I make things, I guess, like a challenge is because if I don't do that, I take forever to draw. Rather than it being easy, it's more like for motivation. Are all the JP heroes one wave? I thought there were two separate ones. Yes, there are two separate ones, but like they were 1 month apart. Sometimes I feel scared my skill will be lost by doing easy things too often. Yeah, for me it's more like a motivation thing. Like, I don't know. It's before I did any challenges, I thought, you know what? I'll only draw when I feel like drawing. I'll just draw the things I feel like drawing. But then time passes surprisingly quickly. And then the things that you want to draw, like, how do I put it? You don't feel like drawing them anymore. There comes a point where you think to yourself like, I really want to draw this, I really want to draw that. And then a year goes by, and then you don't feel like drawing it anymore. Like, when it comes to drawing VTuber fan art especially, it's like, it's kind of like the mood has passed. Like right now I'm drawing this to celebrate their 3D debut. Because I enjoy watching it. And that's kind of like my way to think to myself, yeah, I enjoyed watching it, and like in particular, I thought this part was nice. So if I didn't make this a challenge, the thought would just stay a thought, and then it'd be like a month or two later and it'll be like, it's kind of late to draw anything about their debut. It just remains a memory of, yeah, I liked that part. But this way I can be like, yeah, I like that part, and I drew something about it. Maybe because it's become muscle memory, so it's not challenging anymore, because something challenged sometimes makes adrenaline and helps happiness. Yeah, that's another way to look at it. Though, to be honest, when something becomes muscle memory, as far as art goes, drawing goes, maybe it's just me, but if it's muscle memory and I draw something good without trying, that makes me feel happy. Like, dang, I can draw something this good without even trying? Better than I thought. And that makes me happy. It's all perspective. Like, looking at pretty art makes me happy. If it's like my own art that makes me happy, like, whew. What is that, like a self-providing... What is that called? What is that called? Self-sufficient economy? The reward of hard working process, maybe. I think this whole hair thing is gonna be very difficult to figure out. Even though I'm drawing it now, I don't think it's gonna animate well. It's gonna like go back and forth or something, or it's gonna feel like it's not really moving. Like, it doesn't feel like it's part of the head, maybe? So, if you think about hair physics, facing in this direction, right? Facing in this direction, turning the head so that it's facing this direction, the hair will go one step further. Huh. Actually, is this where I should be copying and pasting something? Like, duplicate layer to 5. So they would move there, and then when this happens, the hair should kind of shift back a bit. Like, it'd be doing this kind of hair physics. I only moved one, but it'd be like doing that, you know, resting. Something like that? But my hair physics are non-existent, so let's not even attempt that just yet. I like this hair, like the movement from here to here, maybe not so much. This is a good starting point. This is a good ending point. What the heck is happening in between? Oh. It's always what's happening in between. Alright, well. Let's add the extra bits of hair. No, let's erase 5 for now. 5 was just a thought. Alright. I made it too long on the... It's like this thing suddenly grows, and then it suddenly grows even longer. Yeah, let's try that again. Does not need to grow. This length was fine to start with. Okay. I don't know if art is evolving or changing, but a few years ago I've never seen art with eyes behind the hair. Nowadays the eyes can be seen even in anime. Really? I think that's actually quite an old pattern. I think I remember first noticing it when I was a kid watching Pokemon. That's a bit too short. And I feel like a lot of 2000s anime had it. Because it helps with animating like this. That you don't have to have like the additional step of hiding the eyes that are behind the hair. Like the eyes is closed by hair, only revealed part of it. Now it's fully revealed even though there's hair in front of it. Yeah, it is totally just a design choice. But let me randomly search on Google Images 2000s anime. I mean, the thing that comes up when you search this kind of thing. Being like this image, as you can see, the eyes are visible behind the hair. But for other stuff too, trying to find one where it's kind of really obvious. But you know, surprisingly, a lot of these, I guess they do cover the eyes. Or rather, it's more like they don't go out of their way to... Like, the hair isn't so long that it covers their eyes. Yeah, it's this image. But that's a good example, right? Oh wait, I wrote 200 anime. No wonder I was getting some weird stuff. Like... Anyways, it totally does exist. I'm just bad at searching stuff. Oh, that's the other thing. And here, okay, back. You know what? This mouth feels a bit off, doesn't it? Why does it feel like it's a bit too much to the right? It should be a bit more here. Right, that's a centered mouth. It was strangely off to the side. Wink. Wink. Okay. Ugh. Time for ultimate confusion time again. Drawing between two lines. Green and blue. And being like, yeah. I'm drawing hair. Ah. Ah. If I don't do it in between, it's gonna be weirdly wobbly. Bang making cute? That's pretty much how it works, right? It's like, you know how animals are cute? That's essentially what you're doing when you give someone bangs. Although I feel like you can make the argument for a lot of things making anime characters cute. Like even that screenshot I showed earlier. You might think that they're weirdly bug-faced, but big eyes make an anime character cute, right? Ah, the one-sided fangs. Question of what the heck I'm drawing at the moment. Oh my gosh. This line, that line, the other line, this line. Oh snap, it's already 9:42. There's only so many minutes left until the new Nijiion debuts. Don't know if it's only my thought, but it's kind of very rare a YouTuber with daddy or older model exists. Yeah, that is true. I feel like it's probably difficult to find someone who wants to have that kind of model. It's part of the reason why, I don't know, I have a younger looking model. Although I don't think it's that young looking, but a not old looking one. I feel like if you're older, you're like expected to know things or something like that. Just in life and stuff, you know? Yeah, the user might be a younger person as well. But, you know, why not have a younger person act as an older person? I think is kind of related to your question. And for me, at least, as I just said, it's because, like, if you have an older model, you'd be, like, expected to know how to do things or, like, how to talk to people. And I don't know, give advice, maybe? With your, like, life experience. And I don't have that capability. So even if I were to you know, have my free pick of any model that I wanted, like, I would not pick an older one for that reason. I missed something. Here, I missed something here. Yeah, life wisdom is too hard for me. With this model, I can just be like, the only thing I do is draw. That's all I do. No, I really don't know how to talk with people. Actually, a recent story. I got pulled into a conversation with people, you know, real life people. And like, I probably should have just left the conversation, but I kind of just sat around these people that I've never met while they were talking until like, I don't know, for a good half hour. I was like, I have no clue what's going on. I have no clue what these people are talking about. And then I was just like, no, I gotta go. Bye. Nice to meet you. You know, that kind of thing. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. I feel like I've never been in a conversation like this. Well, that's not really a conversation. Like, you know, basically an extrovert that I knew was like, hey, you should come to this thing. So I just followed them because I don't know how to say no either. I just followed them and then I ended up in this conversation. But I didn't really end up in the conversation. I was just on the edge. And they were all talking about like going to the gym and stuff. I'm like, yeah. And then like movies. And one of them asked like, do you watch movies? And I was like, no, not really. And that was about the only thing that contributed to the conversation. Talking on stream is completely different. For one, there is no talk about going to the gym in my kind of stream. And we're also talking about sports, and I'm like, oh snap, I don't know a thing about sports. Just listening. Says not a word. You know, to be honest, I was actually surprised hearing their conversation topics. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like what normal people talk about, huh? The so-called normie conversations. Imagine talking to stream chat would just feel like how I talk to myself. Well, that's pretty much how I treat it. Sorry guys, it's like you guys aren't even here. Well, you guys are here, but 90% of the time I guess I'm either not talking at all or talking to myself. Talking to people, it's like you have to actually talk their topics, you know? You guys are more interesting than the voices in my head, at least. Alright. Well, we've got 8 minutes left. I'll add the last strands of hair then. The ones that make him more Itetsu-like. Should I put them on the same layer? You know what? I will. Will I regret it later? Hopefully not. To make it look more like Itetsu, there's a strand of hair that does this. You know what? Maybe I will put on a separate layer. The fact that it like overlaps, that scares me. So I'll add it here. I know, right? I'm surprised how close it is. The only thing that's missing is his hands doing the cat pose thing. But honestly, like, the fact that the hair actually got mostly done on time? Shock, shock. Yo, that's so tiny. It should be a lot bigger. It should be like this size. Something always becomes more interesting if it comes to an end. The one hair is called an ahoge. That's the one where you probably don't want to be looking at the other word. When I think about like the amount of, should I call it like leveling up between Mana and Itetsu here, I'm kind of scared about what's gonna happen next week with Usami. Well, if it's just a matter of doing the same thing as Itetsu but then adding color maybe? The concept of improving everything week by week. Okay, so delete one and then replace it with one here. Oh snap, there's only 3 minutes left! Hard deadlines. Why is this strand of hair so difficult to draw? I'll do it in multiple strokes then. Crunch time indeed. Either way, it's gonna take like an extra few minutes for them to actually start the streams, right? Something like that. I believe in delays. Must leave now. Good luck for the weekend. Thank you. Have a good weekend as well. I mean, Sable technically doesn't start until 10:10. That is true. I feel like with the amount that I'm rushing this right now, I'm gonna have to go back and redraw it anyway. You know what, just for reference, I want to see how these, like, what, three frames that I drew just now look? Yeah. Doesn't quite match the head very well. It goes by so quickly, even though I drew 3 frames, you can't even see it before it goes to the 4th. Alright, then I will stop here. It is 10 o'clock. Let us go and enjoy those debuts. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll finish this up probably this weekend and post it on my X. Possibly on Monday then, I guess? Depending on when I finish it.